Welcome to this look at a new mod pack to Farming Simulator 25 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dahut's Herbal Infusions, or Herbal Tea. This is by Chenben, 62.93 megabytes download. This was the mod I missed off of the mod review yesterday because it's a pack. I mean, it's all of this with all various different productions. And we had this in FS22, if I recall correctly. We might as well crack straight along. We start off with the large garden, of which I have two. I wanted to make sure I had enough stuff being produced to supply all the ongoing products that move forward. I think some things may have been added to this. I'm trying to think. The large garden is 5 slots, 5,500. And then next up, we've got the large greenhouse. That's 8 slots and 30,000. I've got two of those as well. We'll start off with those because we come into our menu here and we come down and across to, where is it? There. And down we come. So, there we start off with, where is it? Just there. Large garden, Dahut's Herbal Tea mod. 5,500. No customization options, it comes just as it is. Place it down and then putting in water. Now the large garden takes water and manure. Everything else is just water. So if you've got a water distributor, that will help for a mod pack like this. Whichever water distributor pack mod it is you might be using, that will definitely help. So that one's there. We come up from there and we go to there. There's the large glass greenhouse. And that's that one just here. And I have two of those down as well. Putting in for water is at the front. And then you'll see some pallets down the side. What I did with each of these, I had them set so that one was distributing straight off the bat, the other one was storing. But what I did with this, I split the products because there are 6, well, you'll see in just a moment. If we come over to our manage point here for the garden. So the garden and the greenhouse will make chamomile, lemon balm, mint, peppermint, thyme, verbena. Oh, it's just that was it. But on the difference between the garden, the large garden and the large greenhouse is this then also has a recipe for the manure option. So we can just go with the standard option that just takes water, or the recipe down here, which is water and manure. Now, what I will say is cycles per month are okay, they're up there. But the recipes are very low on all of these, so they do take a while to produce, which I guess, you know, over time you would expect them to take a while. Anything like this in the real world would do. It depends how patient you can be. So on these ones you've got 2 recipes for each. Now if I come across to our greenhouse there, you've got them all individually. So this is just water. So chamomile, lemon balm, mint, peppermint, thyme, verbena. So I set the first one, this one running the first 3, the second one running the second 3, and off we chugged. Now, as far as I could tell between these, the only difference was that the cycles per month and the recipes were identical. The only difference being between the large glass greenhouse and the large garden was the fact that this has the option for recipe with manure as well. All good. That's the first couple of items out of the way. If we whiz across to here, I put both of the open gardens onto distributing, but the various different things that they are growing are on there. What I did with the greenhouses, I left these, so these were out. So down here we've got a thyme pallet, peppermint pallet, verbena. That's another thyme. So the first 3 were those. And then if I go to the other greenhouse just here, this one has got coming out chamomile, mint, and lemon balm. So those are your main, say your main crops, your greenhouses and garden. But we also have over here, we have the Linden Tree. I've placed 3 of these. So the Linden Tree is 12 slots and 5,000. So it mixes up. I mean, I suppose all of it could have just been done in a greenhouse, but it does really mix up the way you set this up and how much of it you want to run, if you want to run all of it and that kind of thing. So we've got the Linden Tree. And we go across one more to cultivation. So the Linden Tree just there for 5 grand. And when you place them, water comes in and it's just water, and then your pallets come out. The same with this, I had 2 distributing and 1 until I got at least 1 pallet to show what a pallet looks like. And then you can set all of these then to distributing, which I've just mentioned, which will then send them on to the next production on, which you'll see what those are in a moment. But also, along with the Linden Tree, we have got the dogrose or the rosehip. 4 slots, 5,000 each as well. I put 3 of these down this side as well. Again, they just take water. So we come over to the first one. We'll have a look here and click on that. So Linden, the linden trees, water in, linden out. Same with this again, 288 cycles a month, only one, but it's a 1 to 5, which is great. So you're gaining more out of it, but the recipe's low. If it was 10 to 50, it would be a lot better. But at the end of the day, like I say, the modder has set this the way they've set it. It runs. What I've done, I think I did this was one day. I started setting this up at 2 p.m. ish yesterday in game, and it's now 3 p.m. and I think I've got all but one thing out. So I've run everything at least once, which is pretty cool. So we come on to our third linden tree. You'll see that we've got our pallet of linden. And that's what a linden pallet looks like. Now the prices for all of these as they are, and you'll see when we move on to the next thing as well, they're not fantastic in this configuration. And that's why you need to kind of move on to other ones. And then we've got the dogrose plants, which are just here in 3s and 3 of. And that's what your rosehips will look like. The bane of my life when I was a teacher. We had a rosehip tree, bush, in the grounds of the school. And the kids loved throwing them at each other. Plus, if you crushed them up and got the seeds out of them, the seeds are really itchy, and the kids used to put them down each other's backs. Aren't children lovely? Anyway, so that's your rosehip dog rose. Right, as we go past it, I'll show you, we do have in this pack, we have a sell point for these products, but they will sell at other sell points as well. So this is the market stall, 14 slots and 5,000 to buy. The market stall you will find under your factory section, but we come back to sell points. And it's that one just there. No customization options on any of these actually. None of the buildings, they all come just as they are. So there you go, 5 grand. What we'll do, come out of there, and if I click on that and we go to, I do this wrong every time. There you go. Our sell points go across the right hand side. We should see, it won't be shown for this one. Oh, there we go. There's our market stall, which will take other things as well, but should we talk about prices now when we get to 10? We'll talk about prices when we get to 10. There's your market stall. Now, behind that, we've got dryers. So these 2 drying buildings will take all the products we've just done, the lindens, the dogrose, the chamomile, the lemon balm, all of it. If you want to bring it yourself, you can bring it yourself on pallets, on trailers, forklift trucks, whatever you want to do, or sell it to distributing. So it will distribute to these buildings. So these buildings dry down all of those products, so you've got a dried version of them. So we have got the old dryer and the modern dryer. The old dryer, this one here, is 19 slots, 15,000. The modern dryer, 23 slots, 90,000. So you'll find these under your factories. So there's your old dryer just there, and there's your modern dryer just there. Quite a difference in price. Now the difference with these, I'm trying to remember what it was, but we'll go and have a look inside both buildings. What I really like is all this. So you've got all these. Oh, I meant to show that. Actually, I've got a larger version of that. Now it's probably the point to show it. And that's your summary of productions, your kind of flow chart of how this all works. I'm sure I did one of those. If I've done this right, that will come up on the screen now for you to have a look at. Fan-dabby-dozy. So, this is the smaller dryer. Now I put this building around the wrong way because the pallets spawn out the back here, and putting in is done there if you're bringing your pallets yourself. And then we've got our production just there. So the old dryer takes all those things. You've got all the various different things can be dried down. Everything can come to here. Now, this one, capacities for incoming and outgoing products are exactly the same. The cycles per month on these ones are, I think they're all 72. And they're all 200 to 150 on the recipes, if I recall correctly. Yes. The difference between this one and the modern one, which as you can see already, it's a more modern facility. In here. Now I have got pallets of each out. I think I might have multiple. So this is what your pallets are going to look like. There's your dried peppermint, dried mint, dried verbena, lemon balm. We have thyme, linden, another one of thyme, and then that one should be chamomile. Did we not have a? Did I have a rosehip? Oh, maybe I didn't. But anyway, that's what the pallets are going to be look like there. So what? That's what the pallets be look like. Anyway, the difference here, if we click on this and we go back to our on dry, so capacities are the same. The difference is cycles per month. So the other one was, what was it, 72? or 78. Hang on, we can have a quick look. Old dry 72s. These ones are 144. So the capacities for storage, incoming and outgoing products are the same. Recipes are the same, 200 to 150. Difference is cycles per month. So this will run twice as fast. So I've got all these things coming out now. All of these things can be sold in this configuration. So you've got your fresh stuff, your dried stuff. You can sell the pallets in either form if you want to. But again, from this facility, you can set them to distributing and they can distribute on. Now again, this comes. People say, you know, I have always said, you know, once the excitement of ongoing products and productions and stuff sort of waned on FS22, the comment is always made, it's just now pallet simulator. You're just moving pallets around. At the end of the day, the pallets look different, facilities do different things, but they are just pallets. Yes, that is true. But if you want to do something a bit different, if you are interested in, you know, you might want to run this as a whole setup, you know, getting all this stuff, if you're doing a start from scratch or something, or you might come to a farm and you take this whole production on. You're doing herbal teas. This is a whole kind of farm setup in its own right, I guess, when you think about it. But anyway, moving on from the dryers, we then move on to our tea infusion facilities. So we have got the infusion laboratory, like Dexter's laboratory, but a little bit different. And then we've got the infusions factory. The laboratory, 21 slots, 95,000. The infusion factory, 28 slots, 350,000. Now, the difference is the laboratory runs one of each of the recipes, and then the factory actually takes dried and fresh. So you get double recipes, like the open gardens, or like the large gardens did compared to the greenhouses. That did ones with manure. The factory will do recipes that takes fresh ingredients as well as dried ingredients. The outgoing products are exactly the same. They're still the same. So even though it says dried and it says fresh, you don't get a separate product coming out of dried time and fresh time. It's all still time tea, but it will take them from both. So you're kind of getting a double whammy on the recipes there, if that makes sense. Again, build mode into our factorums. So there's your herbal tea laboratory for 95 grand, and up there is the factory for 350 grand. So what we'll do, putting in is done here. Come round the facility to the back. Now what I have got, I think I've only got one pallet that hasn't spawned yet. So there's our Lowers Mint Herbal Tea. That's the Bow Time Herbal Tea. And then we've got the Sweet Dreams Herbal Tea. So our facility, just here, if we click on that, you'll see this one just runs those. So we've got the Bow Time Herbal Tea, Sweet Dreams Herbal Tea, Dahut's Herbal Tea, Lover's Mint, and Mint Herbal Tea. So I think I put these three all spawned here, and the other one I set to do the others. You'll see in just a moment. But you'll see here, again, our incoming products and our outgoing products with our capacities, the cycles per month. We're looking at 96 cycles a month, and then the recipes obviously do vary. But I think, if I recall, the recipes are exactly the same on the larger one. The cycles a month might be different. But on this facility here, what we've got out the front here, we've got Dahut's, which we did have on the other one, Herbal Tea. We've got another Bow Time, Lowest Mint, and what was the other one with Sweet Dreams? So what was I missing? Oh, it was the mint, yeah, the one that hasn't spawned, and I don't understand why, is the Mint Herbal Tea. I've had them running on the tea laboratory and the tea factory. What we're looking there, 667. If we go down to that one, that's why I turned off the Lover's Mint Herbal Tea, because that was using mint, as you can imagine. But that was using dried mint, and that is using fresh mint, and that's the difference on this one. As you can see, we've got doubles of everything. So that's your dried, that's your fresh, dried, fresh, so it doubles up the recipes you're doing. So I switched off that so that all the mint I could run from this and not use it on those recipes. But for some reason, and I can't work out why, unless I need to... No, I haven't got any stored up. I don't know why all the others spawned, but this one didn't. 300 to 150. 300 to 200. 150, 150. Yeah, I mean, the recipes work out the same. 300 to 200. It just seems to be a bit slower for some reason, and I can't quite fathom why. So the only one that hasn't spawned out yet is the mint. And it seems as well that I've only got 600 and something. That's going to take quite a bit longer before that does actually come out. So those are all the pallets. Well, that's what each individual pallet looks like, bar one. That's all the facilities and all the buildings coming out. So I guess the thing to then look at is, okay, that's all wonderful. That's all well and good. But is it worth doing? Again, this comes down to you are not, unless you're producing a lot over a long period, which a lot of these things are designed to do. I've said this many times before in the real world. If you set up a factory, your projection of what you're going to make, you're probably in your first year not going to really make a lot of money. Potentially second year, third year, you might have a 5-year projection, and in your fourth or fifth year, you're going to be into making good money. You know, some productions you're making money instantly because the production cycles are quite high. What you're getting paid for them is quite high. You can make good money. Some of them are set to tick along, and you will make money. You're not going to become a billionaire. Well, you could do over a long period of time, I guess. So if we go down to our recipes here, you'll see as we come down. So there's your bow time herbal tea and your sweet dream. So we're going straight to herbal teas. So 1.7s, 1.6s, sweet dreams herbal tea in your 2,000. So 2.6s, 2.7s. So that they're not bad prices. We come down a bit further and we come to, where are we? Chamomilla. So your basic, like I said, out of your greenhouses and your large garden, the prices for those for a pallet or for 1,000 litres is not huge for the chamomilla. We come down a bit further and we will get to, where was it? There's Dahuts. So the Dahuts herbal tea, over 4 grand a pallet. Not bad. But that's your final. Dried chamomilla, again, a little bit more than the fresh, not hugely, but again, not massive amounts of money. But to be fair, if you don't want to run onward productions and you just want to run the fresh stuff, maybe dry it down, you will make some money, but not, not your fortune. But then to be fair, once you've covered the cost of your greenhouses and stuff, which weren't crazy expensive, all you're putting in is water. If you do the open garden, you can do manure as well, which isn't expensive to buy. And if you're running cows and you'll get manure anyway, it's technically free. Both can then be free. So once you've paid off the actual garden or the greenhouse, and if you're doing the drying onwards, it is all free money, kind of. So there's our dried lemon balm. There's our dried mint, dried peppermint. So see, the prices aren't massive for the dried stuff, but it's all right. Dried rosehip, linden, verbena, dried thyme. Then we move down to, what have I not seen yet? I'm trying to think. Oh, there's our linden, our fresh linden and lemon balm. Lemon balm, see again, 27. The linden, 27, 26, 28. I said lowers, didn't I? Lovers mint herbal tea. Lowers. Oh dear. Over 2,000, 2,2, 2,3. Not bad. There's a mint herbal tea. 1/8. Peppermint again. Fresh peppermint, not a great price, but whatever floats your boat. Now, if you were to do a series, and I haven't done one for a long time, when I did my subscriber contract series where people would send in messages saying they required certain things. And I would go through and pick the ones that kind of helped me follow along with what I was doing. If you got a subscriber contract where someone had messaged you and said, we need 20,000 litres of dried rosehip, this sort of thing would be quite cool. You can set up your gardens, you can set up a dryer, get it running, that can tick away in the background. And then it was that thing of when I then delivered those items, you can check them off your list. I've delivered that to a customer. That thing, I do like doing them. It's an unwieldy beast to maintain and operate, because when you open up the floodgates and say, look, I'm going to do a subscriber contract series, I literally got hundreds and hundreds of submissions, which is awesome. It's great that people were so excited, but trying to sift through and work out. Sometimes things were a bit vague. Sometimes, and it was also negotiating a price. That side of things I really liked. You could message back and say, "That's great. That's fantastic. What's the deal on this?" Some people say, "Well, you just get the price of selling it." Some people say there's a bonus if you do it in a certain amount of time. Some people say, "Well, I can swap you for a piece of equipment." I like that concept. It's a clever idea, and that all came off of Barris. Barris is subscriber contracts. That was Barris. Awesome. So come down. We got anything else? Time. just there. Oh, the time, actually, of all of the fresh stuff, the time is worth. That's all right. That it's a bit better than all the others, isn't it? And there you go. So there's your prices. That's your productions. There's your gardens, your greenhouses. Oh, that's what I forgot. Dahut. And then there's a sign. You saw them inside the buildings, but there's a sign as well. Just there. If we come into our build mode, come down to decoration and was it others or yep, there we go. So for 1,500 you can have the statue outside your facility. You can put the sign, the warning sign if you want to for 300. Sorry, yeah, for 300. These were 3 slots and 2 slots for the decorative signs as well. And then once you're all done, and none of these are liftable. They're not liftable pallets or bales because these are not base game pallets. So if you've got liftable pallets and bales by yours, or sometimes modders will make their base game palleted stuff liftable anyway, but these are not base game pallets, so none of them are liftable. So you are going to need forklifts or big bag handlers and that kind of stuff to get them to work. But there you go. I said I'd get onto it, and the reason I had to do it like this is because this was going to take a little bit longer and would not fit into the mod review that I did yesterday. I hope you found all of this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then of course, please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do, thanks for watching.